This video and every other video on this channel is brought to you by our channel members. Join today for early access, bonus content, and more. Hello, LS11 Universe, it's the Doctor, and Zander number 3. And welcome back to TNA Wrestling. Things may look a little different around here. That's right, they might, because, well, quite frankly, let's just be blunt about it. There's a PC mod that came out that changed up created arena stuff and brought back, like, all the 2K22 indie arena stuff assets, and it seems to have modded over the TNA arena a little bit. It sounded nice, though, honestly. Yeah, kind of does. Well, we are kicking things off with the contract signing. Yes! Legally binding documents! That's what we've been waiting for. It is time to sign the contract for the LS11 Universe Grand Championship matchup going down at Slammiversary. That it is. Ray Wood making his way down to the ring, championship in hand. It's going down this weekend, Zander and Ray. Only the third time ever in the LS11 Universe that these two are going to face off. They do it for the Grand Championship. The score is 1-1 between them right now. So, Ray has made his way down to the ring. So, Ray and Zander, one last time face to face before Slammiversary this Sunday.
Well, let's go ahead and get this piece of shit contract signed, huh? Zander? Zander Ramsey Carver, get your ass out here. Where to God? Okay. You're gonna make me do the thing. You're gonna make me do the thing. Why am I not surprised? The guy with the ego big enough to throw a book promo in the middle of his heartfelt speech wants me to do the thing. Fine. Say his fucking name.
He looks suspiciously happy. Is this madman not taking Ray seriously? I'm not sure. He's acting weird, right? It's not just me? No, he is acting weird. He's acting really weird. Oh, you rang. I could have done without the swearing. But man, it's great to see you, Ray, and it's great to see this table that I'm going to be so for real. I'm about 5 minutes away from putting you through.
Zander, like I said, there isn't much to say between us, but since you felt the need to make a whole big speech, let me make one to you. Zander, what you said last week really got to me, because you talked about how difficult things have been for you, how sad your life has been, writing books about the saddest period of your life. Zander, they know that story, but there's stories they don't know. They don't know my stories. And they don't know them because I don't tell them, because I don't feel the need to. But let me tell you all something. This man here couldn't last one day in some of the situations I've been in. And you won't last 1 minute with me at Slammiversary. You want to bring this down to brass tacks? You want to take it down to who's going to go lowest? Zander, trust me. You don't want to start playing this game. You dealt with me on a bad night when I lost my temper. And I will say this. Maybe, just maybe, I feel a little bit of a tinge of regret for some of the things I said and did that night. But it changes nothing. Absolutely nothing about what I'm going to do to you at Slammiversary to maintain what I've gotten since then. Zander, I won't end you at Slammiversary if you don't make me.
I think you know me well enough to know I'm gonna make you. They're gonna have to scrape me off that canvas. If you win, they're going to be scraping me off the canvas for the rest of the night. If you win, then maybe you were right 3 months ago, and then maybe for real, LS11 Universe is just you. Maybe the people like you more. Maybe they feel like I deserve it. Maybe my head's been up my own ass for so long, and maybe, just maybe, I've deserved all of this. I don't know anymore, Ray. I don't know. All I know is that you have what belongs to me. I never wanted it to be personal if we had to do this all again, because I hated it the last time it got personal. I hated everything that happened. But now this has gotten to a point beyond repair. If you are going to keep the Grand Championship at Slammiversary, you're going to have to fucking kill me.
So be it. So, my contract signed. Tell me, you gonna take that hit you were talking about? Or are you just gonna be a little wuss?
You know,
like you've always been since we were 14.
You know, Ray, there's one thing I've always wanted to give you in this friendship. I've always wanted to give you a better microphone. people know he's retiring.
Okay. It's like... Okay. As I said, a broken heart, a broken spirit, a broken mind, and a broken man is going to be all that's left. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready. We're flying away. Night-night, Peter Pan.
Well, that was a mess, wasn't it? Well, you know, I kind of stay out of, like, you know, people's relationship problems and all that, you know. Just, good luck out there, alright? You don't need luck when you're KC Navarro. We'll go kick his ass. Prove Mike wrong. Will do. Alright, folks, well, it is time for the final qualifier for the 6-way #1 contenders match this weekend at Slammiversary. Out first, the blessed one, KC Navarro, making his way down to the ring. KC Navarro, formerly of Ms. Rowe, betrayed last week, replaced as well. Connell seemingly endorsing him just a little bit here. And now here we are with Navarro making his way down to the ring. KC Navarro about to get a huge opportunity. We've seen Arnold kind of making some new friends backstage as he's been trying to keep himself out of the Zander and Ray nonsense going on. I mean, call it what you will. As he is taking on Rich Swann, making his way to the ring. Rich Swann, the newest member of Ms. Rowe, making his way down to the ring here tonight. That is right, Rich Swann. Replacing KC Navarro just a week ago. You know, we literally just assigned his theme 20 seconds before this match, and the game really just went, nope. So, Swann and Navarro, let's see if Miz is going to end up regretting his choice to swap up the composition of Ms. Rowe or not. Miz is going to be competing twice this weekend. Don't forget, we got an indie show the day before Slammiversary. The one that you, the fans, paid for. Some big matches going down on that one. That is right, both DPW titles are going to be on the line on it. Several matches you all paid for, and some matches that you all didn't, getting added to it as well. But time will come for that soon, in just 48 hours. Apparently there's also going to be a double feature SmackDown tomorrow, is what I've heard. Well, we'll see about that. Crossbody from KC Navarro, taking down Rich Swann, and going down in the ground and pound now is the former LAW champion. Don't forget, folks, also, a week from Saturday, LAW is back in the LS11 universe. That it is, as now Rich Swann's got KC Navarro. Whoa! Flips a powerbomb through into a cover. With a 1, but a kick out from Navarro. KC Navarro getting back to his feet now. Rich Swann throws him to the corner here. Rich Swann runs the ropes into a big boot, taking him down. Swann has got him down. Swann with a splash. Rich Swann has got KC Navarro down now. Kicks him down. Rich Swann. Here we go. Size him up here. Telling Navarro to get back up here. Rich Swann coming in hard. Goes for a forearm. Navarro out of the way. KC Navarro now. Poison Rana to Rich Swann. So our first matchup of the night here on TNA. That it is, the final episode of TNA, heading into Slammiversary this weekend. Only the, I believe, 4th ever Slammiversary in LS11 history. And the second one main evented by Mustafa Ali. Third one with Mustafa Ali challenging for a championship. I'll let that one sink in for a minute here. Cover. For the 1. For the 2. No. Of course, we had Slammiversary in Season 3. Main evented by Samoa Joe versus Swerve Strickland. The arrival of the late, great Wyndham Rotunda at the end of that show. One of the biggest shocking moments in LS11 history there. In Season 4, we had Kurt Angle challenging Samoa Joe for the TNA World Title versus career. And then Season 5, we had Joe Hendry defending against Mustafa Ali. Last year, we didn't have a Slammiversary because it was during the one-season hiatus we took with TNA to allow the other rosters to flourish a bit, as Casey Navarro firing away at Rich Swann now. Forearm strike, pulls him in. Casey Navarro throws Rich Swann into the corner. Big clothesline, elbow strike. Snapmare takes him down. Hits the ropes. Coming off the ropes again, and a big boot connecting from Navarro. Goes for a big chop there. Now Rich Swann swings him around. Rich Swann scoops him up on his shoulders here, and Rich Swann has him up. And stun gun taking him down. Rich Swann. This is Rich Swann's first match in LS11 Universe in years. We haven't seen much of him at all in LS11 Universe, so this is a big opportunity for him tonight to really step up and step out. Step up, show out here in the LS11 Universe. But Casey Navarro is looking to punch his ticket to Slammiversary tonight and prove The Miz wrong for kicking him out of Miz Row. Casey Navarro, I think a lot of people see a lot of potential in him as he, nearly hits that 450, but Rich Swann with the big knee strike. Goes for the moonsault, nobody home. Navarro, big drop kick into the back, knocks Rich Swann into the ropes, but Navarro goes down for a moment. And now Casey Navarro, here we go, hits the ropes. Navarro, 619. The 619 style kick, shades of the great Rey Mysterio with that one. And now Rich Swann is down. Casey Navarro into, went for the frog splash, nobody home. Rich Swann now up to the, whoa. Navarro now hit with a clothesline. Rich Swann with an elbow now, and Rich Swann and Casey Navarro here. Navarro throws him into the corner here. Navarro slides through, head off the turnbuckle, kick in the head from Rich Swann. And Rich Swann's got him here. Rich Swann for that moonsault. Navarro pulling him back in and kicks him in the head. Casey Navarro's got him now, and Navarro into 450 splash to Rich Swann. Referee perfectly in position there. Casey Navarro is going to Slammiversary. Casey Navarro living up to his potential with that one. Getting the big victory there. What a win for Casey Navarro tonight. Knocking off Rich Swann. And we're going to forewarn you all, Casey Navarro is going to be back to being a created wrestler on Sunday. This has been recorded out of order. We got Slammiversary done at the start of the week. That is right. As Casey Navarro with the big win tonight, though, he joins Big Bill, Chris Danger, Zajac. Come on, you can do it. I know you can. It's been a weird week, man. It's been a weird fucking week. Come on, you can do it, Z3. You can do it. I know you can. Myron Reed and Elijah. There you go. Just had to channel your brain back to last week. It's been a long week, man. I'm having to train again. That's right. You're getting back in the ring next week. I am. I'm going to be back in action on LAW. Do you have an opponent? I don't. You have a new commentating partner for next Saturday? Unfortunately. Who'd you get? JT. You want to say that again? Not really. We got more action coming up next here on TNA. So the Quizmaster and all of his little circus freaks want to fight. They want us to come to their land. So be it. This Sunday, Quizmaster, Triton, we are going to end you once and for all. We are going to make you feel pain. We are going to make you suffer. You are going to fear the wrath of what sanity brings. You are going to find yourselves in worse pain than you have ever been. If you thought when I broke your spine across the back of those stairs, an emergence was bad, you will be lucky to ever walk again when our battle is done. Alright, folks, well, we've got some 6 knockout tag team action coming up next for you here on TNA. There we go, we had to wait for someone to find the light switch in the arena. As we are kicking things off, out first. What is it with themes not working tonight? We have a lot of trouble on the editing side of things. How you holding up, editors? Great, good. So, kicking us off here, the first woman making her way to the ring. Arguably the favorite to win the matchup this Sunday and become the new Knockouts champion. She feels like to many she's the uncrowned Knockouts champion at this point. That is right, the showstopper, Elizabeth Bell, making her way to the ring. Elizabeth Bell makes her way down, former LAW and LSWF Women's Champion. Big matchup here tonight for her. So, she's the first one in. Remember, it'll be a 6-way elimination matchup at Slammiversary on Sunday for the gold. As out next, here comes Indy Hartwell to the ring. So, Indy Hartwell, the next one out to the ring tonight. Indy Hartwell really looking to redeem herself here in TNA after everything that's going on with her in the last year. And finally, from Evolve, the woman that we know will seemingly, unless she loses that Evolve Women's Championship in the next few weeks, will be heading to the NXT Great American Bash to face off with either Stephanie Vaquer or Kalani Jordan in a winner-take-all matchup for the Evolve and NXT Women's titles. And perhaps the Knockouts title could be added to that mix if Zeta Steele of the Vanity Project could capture the gold on Sunday. Zeta Steele makes her way down to the ring. Now here comes the other team. As out first, it is Ash by Elegance. Making her way down to the ring, Ash by Elegance set for action. Out next, teaming up with Ash by Elegance tonight. Oh, her theme works. Of course her theme works. As here comes the prototype, Casey Styles of the Blackstone Empire to the ring. So, Casey Styles out next. And finally, the third woman in this matchup on this side of things, the TNA Knockouts champion, Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler, all on her own tonight. Her buddy, Marina Shafir, is on her way to the LS11 warehouse for a fight with Jade Davidson tonight. So, Here we go. Eliza and Ash starting us out here. Ash by Elegance swings her around, grabs Eliza, and taking it down. Back body drop there now, and now Ash by Elegance pulling back on the arm. Back up to her feet now. Ash by Elegance gets Eliza back to her feet now. Throws Elizabeth Bell into the corner. Tag made. Casey Styles. Oh, God. Here we go. Well, it's not. It's not Eliza's brother, Casey's other half, so at least we got that going for us. That's true. These two. No love lost between them, that's for sure. There's been plenty of issues with these two women throughout the history of LS11 Universe. That is 100% fact, Z3. Absolutely no love between these two anymore. Used to be best friends, now bitter enemies. Are Casey Styles and Elizabeth Bell. Casey throws her into the corner now. Tag made. Ash by Elegance back in. And now Eliza getting sent off the ropes here for double back body drop. Ash now getting it back up to her feet here. Ash by Elegance on her knees now is Eliza. Ash by Elegance now. What is she thinking here? Goes for a hook. Eliza. Whoa! They both launched at one another. And Ash by Elegance slamming her down. You know, Ash by Elegance has got to be feeling a certain way in this matchup. She's the only woman heading into Sunday that has never been a champion. That is right. Casey Styles is the former LAW Women's Tag Team Champion. Shayna Baszler, double champion currently. Indy Hartwell, despite losing her Money in the Bank briefcase, is a former WWE Women's Tag Team Champion. So she's got that going for her. Shayna Baszler, Ash by Elegance rather, slamming the head of Eliza down repeatedly. Eliza's yet to make a tag in this matchup. Well, speaking of, looked like she was about to tag Indy, who she accidentally knocked off the apron instead. In comes the Evolve Women's Champ. Zeta Steel coming in like a house of fire right now. Here's Zeta. And now Zeta Steel, knee into the midsection. Kicks her in the head. Down goes Ash. Goes for a senton. Nobody home. Ash by Elegance kicking it down. Ash by Elegance staying on her now. Going after her. Grabs a hold of her now. And Ash by Elegance has her up. Body slam. Taken down. Zeta Steel. Ash by Elegance now. Tags in the Knockouts champ. Here we go. Shayna Baszler is in. The Queen of Spades. Coming in hot. Like a house of fire. No different from usual for her in that case. That is true. As now Zeta Steel grabs onto Shayna Baszler. Throws her off the ropes. Collides with her now. Zeta Steel goes for a kick. Shayna Baszler's got a hold of her now. And Shayna takes her into the corner now. Head first in the turnbuckle. Goes for her. Counted by Zeta now. And Zeta Steel. Big boot. Taking it down. Tag made. Here we go. Indy Hartwell. Someone that can match size and power with Shayna just a little bit. Oh, but wait a minute. Knee off the jaw. And the impressive one goes down. Indy Wrestling down. Tag made. Casey Styles in. Casey Styles now. Look at her go. The prototype looking to... She really feels like the biggest underdog in terms of like betting odds for Sunday. I feel like anyone would pick literally anyone else to win the Knockouts title over her, unless her dumbass boyfriend gets involved or something. Which, you know, don't put it against her. Don't put it past her to have that happen. We've seen Alexander Blackstone choke slam Eliza on countless occasions. As now Indy Hartwell and Casey Styles going back and forth. Styles rolls her through into a cover. Casey Styles for the one. Indy Hartwell kicking out. Back and forth they're going here. Casey Styles dragging her towards the center of the ring. As Indy Hartwell down now. Casey Styles getting her back up to her feet here. Styles throws her now across the ring into the corner. Styles goes for him. Indy Hartwell goes for the boot. Sidestepped there. Indy Hartwell now swinging her around. And Indy Hartwell floats through into Hammerlock DDT into the cover now. Casey Styles down. Indy Hartwell. Two saved by Shayna. The Knockouts champ making the save. Indy Hartwell taking the shot at Ash by Elegance there. Goes for the kick. Gets knocked back though. Casey Styles. Clothesline. Styles is slippery. It's how she rolls. As now Casey Styles sweeps the leg of Indy Hartwell. Casey Styles now. Double tag, here we go. The champion and the favorite to dethrone her on Sunday. Going at it now. Shayna Baszler and Elizabeth Bell. Remember, Eliza's pinned Shayna once before in a tag matchup just before Against All Odds when it was Shayna and Casey Styles against Eliza and Elena Black. That is right, and on that night, Eliza was able to pin the Knockouts champ. Could she do it again tonight? She looks like she wants to. She's been calling out Shayna since night 1 of TNA's relaunch, but has had other roadblocks getting in her way. And she sidesteps the spear. Gets caught with the hip toss, though. Tag made to Ash by Elegance. Ash is back in now. Eliza. Oh, she's caught by Shayna now, but Ash by Elegance. Oh, Ash by Elegance and Shayna Baszler double teaming her now. And Eliza, wait a minute. Oh my god. Finds herself in a 3-on-1 situation on this side of the ring. She's isolated. That she is. And she's thrown to the steps. And you know these three will take a count out. They don't care. A count out is still a win for these three tonight. Saves them some energy ahead of Slammiversary. 7 count. And now Eliza with a super kick. Puts some separation back in it now, does the showstopper. Wait a minute, is she going to do it here? Eliza. Looked like she was thinking about flying. For the count of 4. Ash by Elegance with a neck breaker, taking her down. Into a cover now. Ash by Elegance here for a huge win, but she's saved by the Evolved Women's Champ, is Eliza. Ash looked like she might have been looking for a tag there for just a moment. And now into the corner goes Eliza. Tag made. Casey Styles back in. And Eliza on the receiving end of her arch nemesis. And Ash by Elegance. It's Casey Styles now. Wait a minute. STF. This is the way we usually see Eliza tap people out. That it is, Doc. And Indy Hartwell making the save. Oh, wait a minute. Indy Hartwell. Taking her down. And Eliza getting some revenge there. Getting some revenge there on Ash by Elegance now. As now Eliza. Oh, she's caught by Casey, though, and Casey Styles knocks her into the referee. Grabs a hold of her again, sending Eliza into the corner again. Tag made right back to Ash. Ash by kick in the midsection now, and Ash by Elegance now. And Eliza knocking her back now. Eliza fighting back here against Ash by Elegance. Into a big drop kick, creating some separation there. Eliza's getting fired up now. Eliza wiping out Ash. Has her down. And now Eliza's got it down here. Double axe handle into the head of Ash by Elegance. Taking it down now. Eliza's got it now. And Eliza kicking away out of here. Eliza's got Ash by Elegance kicking her down now again. Some drop kick now. Elegance coming in. Grabs a hold of it now. And Ash by Elegance into sidewalk slam. Bending the back of Elizabeth Bell. Eliza in some serious trouble here. Oh, and what a massive clothesline there, though. And Eliza to put her down here. Looking for the encore. Encore connects from the Punk Rock Princess, but she's saved by the Queen of Spades. As she takes Casey Styles off the apron now. Leg sweep from Ash by Elegance. Here we go again. Shayna and Eliza now as Eliza's crawling towards the other side of the ring, but Shayna, oh my god. That joint manipulation from Baszler. Wait a minute, the other two women jumping off the apron here. Eliza out of the way now, and Eliza knocking back Shayna here, and Eliza knocking her back here. Elizabeth Bell ducks under her into Crossroads. Elizabeth Bell, a Georgia girl herself. No! Shades of the American Nightmare with the Crossroads. Shayna's got a hold of her now, and Shayna gets her up and takes her down. Baszler now into the cover. Shayna Baszler now for the 1, for the 2, for the 3. Eliza looked like she was on a roll, but I guess she took just too much of a beating. And Shayna Baszler was able to pick up the pieces. Eliza really got isolated early on there, and it just became constant tag after constant tag. For a moment, it looked like she was about to get the win and pin Shayna Baszler for a second time. But Shayna Baszler tonight was able to get one up on her. I think Eliza just made 1 or 2 more tags in that one. We'd have seen a different outcome tonight. But that's the dominance of the Knockouts champion of the world, Shayna Baszler. It was right here where it looked like it might have been all over for the winners to be the opposite side. But Shayna Baszler just had the wherewithal to kick out. Eliza made that one mistake was all it took. She went up, she went down. Your winners, Casey Styles, Ash by Elegance, and Shayna Baszler. So, we've got more coming up next here on TNA Wrestling. Well, when I told Jay that I needed more people here in TNA, I didn't expect him to send you. Lie low tonight. We'll remind the world why Bullet Club rules this place on Sunday. I'll see you then. Well, ahead of their showdown at Slammiversary, this weekend, Nick Nemeth is sending in his brother to do his dirty work. That is right, Ryan Nemeth, the Hollywood hunk, and the younger brother of Nick Nemeth, making his way down to the ring. Ryan Nemeth making his way down to the ring, looking to do the dirty work and take down the man that his brother faces off with this weekend. So this time we're seeing Ryan Nemeth in singles action in quite some time. As here comes the Nomad, Bishop Dyer, to the ring. Bishop Dyer, the former TNA World Champ, making his way down to the ring. A big matchup coming up for him this weekend. As Bishop Dyer looks to send a message to Nick Nemeth tonight. So, let's do this, shall we? Ryan Nemeth and Bishop Dyer. And Ryan Nemeth. Oh, all right, well, there you go. End of days. Oh God, another one. Well, the people want one more time, and who is Bishop Dyer to deny them that? And just like that, Bishop Dyer with the win. Just like that. That's all it took. Bishop Dyer with the win. Message sent. Message sent. We got more coming up here on TNA. Jesus. And that's why I'm telling you, you need the system in your corner. Your little brother was just a complete embarrassment. So this is my final offer. Let us help you at Slammiversary, and we let you and Ryan in. What do you say? Alright, folks, it is time for our last matchup of the night, but we have still got plenty more coming for you here tonight on TNA, because we have still got Chris Jericho and... we have still got Chris Jericho and Mustafa Ali face-to-face in the main event tonight as well. But it is some women's action coming up next here in the Knockouts division, as here is Marina Shafir. Marina Shafir makes her way down to the ring. Big matchup here tonight for her. She's taking on the in-ring debut here in TNA of another big popular star. That she is. As last week we heard Mustafa Ali just absolutely lose his mind about everything going on here in TNA around his campaign. How everything just seems to be falling off the rails, falling apart before his very eyes. And so as Marina Shafir has made her way to the ring, she is taken on Harley Cameron. Here she is. Marina Shafir taking on Harley Cameron. Let's do this. Here we go. Can Harley Cameron finally bring a win to the Ali campaign? We're going to find out in just a moment here. That we are is Harley Cameron. Of course, he's going to be part of the Women's World Cup coming soon. The bracket's getting announced, I believe, this weekend finally. I believe I have heard that as well. We had to have a bit of a discussion, a bit of a forum behind the scenes to figure out who's going to be replacing one of the big featured names in it due to recent events that we cannot discuss. We would rather not discuss because we would rather keep things positive around here if we can. That is right, and we will have an announcement about that this weekend. Zander's going to be live tomorrow and Sunday for the last 2 nights of the telethon, day 3 and 4 of the telethon. Or day 4 and 5, rather. Come by, donate if you want. We're so close to Creative Team Books Raw and the big goal of $500 where chat will get to, what was it? What was the big $500 thing? It was a big one. As off the ropes goes Marina Shafir. At 500, you all get to pick the wrestler that Zander will do a full cosplay of for his watch-along of Survivor Series War Games come November. Off the ropes now goes Harley Cameron. Marina Shafir grabs onto her and DDT. Shafir taking it down now. Getting it back up to her feet here. Grabs a hold of her now. Grabs her by the back of the head now. And head first in the turnbuckle. Goes for an elbow strike there. Harley Cameron launches in with a crossbody. Harley Cameron now getting her back up to her feet here. And Harley Cameron firing back at Marina Shafir now. Shoves her back here. And Harley Cameron going for it. Gets caught around the waist. Marina Shafir's got her by the waist now. And Harley Cameron now goes around, grabs her from behind here. Harley Cameron grabs Marina Shafir, rolls up the rope into a cover now. Harley Cameron, 1, no. Marina Shafir, she's got a lot to prove as well. After being released earlier this season, at the very start of the season, she was let go from WWE. Or the tail end of last season, rather. Now she's firing away at Harley Cameron and taking her down here. Marina Shafir. We've seen her former tag partner thriving in NXT and Lash Legend, but we've not gotten to see much of her. And he always considered her to be a bit of the weak link of her team with Lash as well. It's Harley Cameron getting out of the way again now, and Harley Cameron got for a big right hook, gets caught now. Sade has her by the back now, and counted by Harley Cameron now. Harley Cameron swings her around, grabs a backstabber there from Harley now into a cover. Harley Cameron, cover for the 1, cover for the 2. No! Harley Cameron looking to get a big win for her first matchup here tonight. And Sade with a jumping cutter. Harley Cameron down now. Marina Shafir to turn it around. Harley Cameron staggering back to her feet now. No, goes for it. Harley Cameron gets caught with a chop as she was throwing a big kick there. Big forearm strike now, and Harley Cameron into Shining Wizard. Harley Cameron could do this now. Harley Cameron wins her first match. What a win there for Harley Cameron tonight over Marina Shafir. Harley Cameron getting the win. At least Mustafa Ali might be able to take his blood pressure down a few notches after all of that. Perhaps so. Marina Shafir and Harley Cameron with the matchup there. Chris Jericho and Mustafa Ali coming face to face. Our final confrontation in just a moment here. Hey, NRW. You want to bring JT and I into your little squabble with Zander, your little 3-year-old grudge that you've got with him at this point just because we're his friends? Actually, I'm his best friend. Stop, not helping JT. You want to try and bring us into it because we're friends with Zander? We had nothing to do with Ray and Zander's squabbles. But if you want to get involved, we'll be ready to bring the fight. Yeah! NRW, you want to mess with Jadam? We're going to pound your asses all night long. JT, no. Just pounding over and over and over. All 3 of you at once. Getting your asses pounded by us into the night. JT, stop helping. Just both of us at the same time. Both hands pounding all over so hard that you'll wish you were playing Ass Naked Twister. JT! Enough. What, did I go too far? Yeah! Alright, folks, it is the final face-to-face between champion and challenger ahead of Slammiversary. That is right, folks, as here comes the #1 contender to the TNA World Championship, the former TNA World Champion. Here comes Mustafa Ali, all on his own tonight. He has left the Ali campaign in the back tonight. Has Mustafa Ali, the former TNA World Champion, finally getting his chance to win that gold back all these years later. Or a year later. This Sunday at Slammiversary, he main events it for the 2nd time as a challenger for the TNA World title. Last time, he was able to quell the believers and win the gold. Will he be able to do the same and put the Judas to bed this weekend? Time shall tell. Dark time shall tell in this regard as Mustafa Ali made his way down to the ring. And now here comes the TNA World Champion. The Ayatollah of Rock and Roller, the man of 1,004 holds. The Judas, the lead singer of Fozzy. Saved the best for last there, didn't you? Take what you can get. Here comes Chris Jericho to the ring. Chris Jericho. Ready for a big matchup this Sunday. Let's hear from Jericho and Ali ahead of their showdown on Sunday. It'll be a first time ever matchup between them on Sunday. That is right. Ali interrupted. Ali interrupted the championship celebration of Jericho last month. At the beginning of the month, and now, let's do this. Well, Chris, you've managed to weasel your way into yet another pay-per-view main event in the year 2025. But I must warn you now, Chris, that you find yourself walking into the main event of Slammiversary against a man who is undefeated at Slammiversary. 3 years ago, at Slammiversary, I ended the X Division Championship reign of Chris Sabin. And 2 years ago, I defeated Joe Hendry, something that not many others can say they've done. Actually, Mr. Ali, fact check. You didn't beat Chris Sabin on that night. You're just telling people that because you think they'll forget that you kept chasing and chasing and chasing the X Division title. You really are a real politician, aren't you? Did you just try and fact check me? No, I didn't just try. I successfully did. God, I really don't want to defend against you on Sunday. Not because I don't think you're a worthy opponent, not because I'm afraid I'm going to lose to you, but because there are so many other young stars back there that I want to give that Chris Jericho rub to. This Myron Reed kid that debuted just last week has caught my eye, Ali. I see big things for him, and unlike you, he doesn't whine, bitch, and complain to get what he wants. He doesn't politic his way to the top. There's so many kids back there that I see big things for, but here I am, coming up against a whiny little bitch. Takes one to know one, Chris. But I'll tell you what, if you don't want speeches, I'll tell you something. Do you remember what I said to you during your championship celebration? You said a lot and I tuned you out. I said that night I'd let you enjoy it. But next time we stood in the ring, I'd be laying you out. Be sure you polish her before Sunday. I like my titles nice and clean when I win them. Well, folks, that does it for our main show of TNA tonight, but you can see Marina Shafir has arrived at the LS11 warehouse and, well, she's been invited. She's been invited by the sorceress tonight. Well, we'll be signing off for the night. Marina, just remember, you brought this on yourself. Special thanks to $10 above Patreon backers JJ Gyllenhaal, Tech Nizzle, Harry Willetts, and Jeremy Burt. Patreon is the best way to support me directly, and joining you get LS11 member Nitro, Let's Play content, early access to Sanctuary videos, and more.